Okay, so hello and thank you all for being here. I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Shelby Grauer and I'm the grant coordinator for the Organized Retail Theft Grant Program. And I'd like to thank you for being here to get some more information on the application process. So for today's meeting, we will go ahead and go through an overview of the Organized Retail Theft Grant Program, as well as the outlined priorities. We will review the timeline for the application process. I'll walk through the application with you, which is available in our online portal. And I will open it up at the end if there's any questions. So please feel free, if you have a question in the meantime, to go ahead and use the raise hand function. Otherwise, I will certainly leave time at the end for you to ask any questions that you may have. So some background on the Organized Retail Theft Grant Program. Senate Bill 900 out of the 2023 session established the Organized Retail Theft Grant Program within the Criminal Justice Commission. It allocated a total of $5 million and outlined the eligible recipients include city and county-based law enforcement agencies, community-based organizations, and the Oregon State Police. Funds awarded through this grant may be used on costs incurred through addressing organized retail theft. It's important to keep in mind that funds are competitive for law enforcement agencies and community-based organizations, but are available to the Oregon State Police. So the priorities that are displayed on your screen are the priorities that have been outlined. It's important to keep in mind that the Commission will prioritize applications that demonstrate any or all of the priorities that are listed on the screen. These priorities have been made available in the solicitation and are also viewable throughout the application process. So we encourage you to review those both before you begin the application process and to keep them in mind throughout the application process. The solicitation opened on May 24th and is accessible currently through our website and our application portal SM-Apply. Please keep in mind that applications are due July 1st and will go before the Commission for final award decisions on July 31st. We anticipate that grant contracts will be distributed to award recipients for signature in August. Applications must be submitted using SM-Apply. The link that you see here on this slide is clickable, so please feel free to utilize it. It is also listed again on our website and is available in the solicitation. The application includes 4 required steps and 1 optional upload. The required steps include the cover sheet, the eligibility requirements, the narrative questions, and the budget projection sheet upload. The optional upload of the Memorandum of Understanding, again, is optional. If you have one, please feel free to upload it. If you do not have one, it would be in your best interest to provide one to us once it is drafted. So this screen here is what you should expect to see when you go into our application portal and you select the Organized Retail Theft Grant Program. The first step would be logging in if you have an existing account or registering for a new account if you do not. The second step would then be accessible to you, which is clicking the apply button. By clicking the apply button, you'll be prompted to name your application, and then you will have access to the required tasks. So this is the page that you will be prompted onto once you have created your application. You'll see that there's a lot of information provided here for you. It outlines each task, the name of your application. Something that I'd like to draw your attention to is on the left side, you have a progress bar, as well as those that have access to the application itself. You'll see that my name is listed on this example because I created this application. If there was someone within my organization or another organization that was applying that needed access to this application, I would provide them access by clicking the Add Collaborator button. By clicking this button, you'll be prompted with this pop-up. This will ask you to add the collaborator by including their email and to select the level of access you would like them to have. If you would like them to be able to upload information or complete part of the questions, you would need to grant them access to view and edit. There's the option of adding an optional message, and then once that is completed, you would click Send Invite. You'll then return back to your application and you would want to begin on your task. Remember that there are 4 required tasks, and the bottom again is listed as optional. Each task is available by clicking on the title, which will then open up the requirements of that task. You'll be asked to please complete each required section. Once it's completed, you'll see at the bottom of that stage 2 options of saving. The first would be to save and continue editing, and the second would be to mark as complete. Both have their own functions, and it's important that I would like to point those out to you now.
Yeah, so I'd say main service requested. Oh, he's messing with you. Just give me.
Okay, so by clicking save and continue editing, you'll notice that the stage itself is still editable. This would be something that you would want to click if you needed to pause where you were at, maybe gather more information or come back another day. You'll notice that on the left-hand side, that circle has now turned into a half full circle with the green, meaning that it's in progress. The application, or excuse me, the stage again will stay unlocked and will allow you to return to continue making changes until you select the mark as complete. Once you select mark as complete, you'll notice that this stage has now locked and that the circle on the left is now a white check. If you need to update information once this has been completed, you will then want to click on the top 3 buttons at the top right of the title. This will prompt you with this menu where you'll have the option of downloading, resetting, and editing. Keep in mind that resetting will reset the stage back to blank, meaning that any information that you input will have been erased. Editing, however, will reopen the stage and will allow you to make any changes that you need. Once you have finished those changes, we ask that you please again select mark as complete and then return to back to the application to continue working through each required task. That can be done by clicking the back to application button on the top left of the screen. And again, you'll return here. So moving on to the narrative questions themselves, it's recommended that you please read through the CJC comments regarding the application questions listed at the top of the stage. We've identified each of the priorities and left them there so that you can be mindful of them throughout your application process. Keep in mind that narrative questions focus on how the applicant addresses the identified funding priorities as listed. Each narrative question will be available as you see here. We ask that you please be thorough and direct in your answers, keeping in mind that we do not want to infer any information out of your answers. There are word limits established, which you will see underneath the text box. Again, we ask that you please be thorough but direct in your answers. Some questions are branching questions, meaning that if you answer yes or no to a question, another question may be prompted. If you see an additional question has been prompted, we ask that you please complete the additional question. The final required component of the task will be to upload the budget projection sheet. You'll see on the left of this screen, there's a little screenshot of what that looks like. The link to download this projection sheet is also available through SM Apply within the task of the budget projection sheet upload. We ask that you please itemize each of your requests within the category that it fits. Please include a narrative that ties back to the priorities, and again, remember to answer thoroughly. Keep in mind that this is a competitive grant, so we need to know why you're asking for the funds that you are requesting. We would also like to point out again this link here for the grant administration guide, which provides a thorough list of allowable and unallowable expenses. Once you've completed all of the 4 required and the optional memorandum, if you have one, you'll want to verify that each task has been marked as completed. You'll see that this is something you can do quickly by just verifying that each task has a white check mark included within its green circle. Once this is completed, you can go ahead and click submit. You will then be sent an email that confirms that you have submitted your application. So again, going back to the timeline so it's fresh in everyone's mind, the application solicitation is currently open using our online portal. Applications are due July 1st, and applications will be going before the commission on July 31st, where the commission will make the final award decision. Again, we anticipate that the grant contracts will go out to award recipients for signature in August of 2024. Are there any questions? I don't see any, and I don't see any hands raised, so I'd like to go ahead. Oh, Jose.
So quick question. So I see in the grant where it lists who's eligible for the grant. It states local, county, and then Oregon State Police.
Mhm.
Now, is that restricted exactly to that wording? Because with our DOJ, we're police officers by statute and we're state employees, but we're not worded into that grant that way.
So unfortunately, DOJ would not be an eligible applicant.
All right, that makes sense.
Any other questions? Trevor?
If I can unmute myself, did I get it?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so for the community-based organizations, are you talking about stores like retail organizations, or could you just give me some examples?
So community-based organization has to be a nonprofit, a registered
Okay.
nonprofit. There is some more information within the solicitation and within the rules that outline what a community-based organization must meet, their threshold and the requirements that they must meet. So they must either be a nonprofit or a sponsored nonprofit.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Did I miss anyone, or is there anyone that thought of anything in the meantime? Not seeing any. I would like to go ahead and just provide you all with my contact information. Feel free to give me a call or send me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Yes, Jose?
So with the community-based organizations, so if a community-based organization puts in for the grant, say for items, specific items, and they wish to donate those to an agency that needs those specific items in rural counties or whatever, is that something that's acceptable through the grant process?
I can look into that and provide you with a follow-up email if that would be okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, yes, absolutely. I just want to make sure that I provide you with the best information. So I'll go ahead. I do have your email, so I will send you an email as soon as I have an answer for you.
Thank you.
Of course. Veronica?
Two divisions of the same bureau apply for the grant.
Independently?
Yes.
So there'd be two different grant awardees. That is another great question. I don't know if it would need to go to the agency as one agency and then be distributed within the agency itself, or if you could be your own award.
Yes, in this case, it would be for the police bureau with the City of Portland Police Bureau, two different divisions, each one to apply. So if that's something that you could let me know later on, that would be terrific.
Yes, absolutely. I certainly can. All right, Mike?
Hi, Shelby.
Oh.
This may have already been asked, but it seemed like there was some question regarding when the funds must be spent by. It shows, I think, on the application process by June 30 of next year. I'm assuming the end of that fiscal. If we were intending on seeking that funding to support missions going up until the end of 25, will those funds still be eligible to be used on, say, ORT missions to fund overtime until the end of 25?
Let's see. So the project period itself is April 1st of 2024 through June 30th of 2025.
Correct. But if we
Yeah.
seek that reward, do all funds have to be spent by June 30th, or can those funds that were requested continue to be spent until the end of 25? That would be the question.
Just writing this down, Mike. I'm sorry to give you the same answer, but I can certainly look into it to see if there would be a period at the end that would allow for like spend down. But I don't
Okay.
have that answer right now, but I'm happy to get back in touch with you, Mike.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great, because
Yeah.
that would essentially dictate how much we would ask for, because if there were
Mhm.
additional missions that we couldn't spend, then yeah, we wouldn't ask for as much.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Then I will go ahead and turn, oh, Leah?
On the budget projection sheet, which section would overtime go in? Would that be in personnel or in one of the other ones?
In personnel,
Thank you.
of course. Okay. Any other questions that anyone has thought of? Okay. So again, thank you for being here to listen to this webinar and to attend. Those of you that asked questions that I didn't have an answer to at this time that I'm going to look into, I will follow up with an email with you to go ahead and provide you with that information. If anyone else thinks of any other questions, please again, feel free to send me an email or give me a call and I would be happy to answer those or provide an answer for you. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day and enjoy your weekend,
Thank you.
of course.
Thank you.